Good Wednesday morning. Okay, today I was training this morning. My Wednesday morning training with my friend Mike, and appreciate his feedback while I was working out. I said, hey, what do you hear? What's some of the things you are hearing from your clients, your training clients, that they might benefit from or they might be interested in knowing more about? And he immediately spoke up and said, energy to complete your day's tasks, because most folks that we connect with that are attracted to our clinic, we get younger, we get in the 20s and we get in the 30s and we get in the 40s, but the bulk of the people we see are in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Heck, I just started a young man yesterday, 91 years old. So I'm amazed by this man, 91 years old, and I totally blew his age. I mean, he's in great shape. Cognitively, and he's here for weight loss, and he's got the right mindset. He's like, hey, I can see my course. At 91 years old, he's thinking about his course, which kudos to him, and he's doing something about it, because you can think on something all day long, but until you act, well, you're not going to get any change there, right? We talked about that in our last video. So this morning, let's talk about energy. Here's the thing. This is kind of a crude, not disgusting, but a crude example. And it's not the best comparison, because I'm going to be comparing a machine to the human body, right? Apples and oranges. I get that. But for the practical purposes of understanding the principles behind it, that's why I'm using automobiles. Unfortunately, ladies, please bear with me, and I apologize in advance that men think this way. We think mechanically. So what am I talking about specifically? I'm talking about energy. If you think about an automobile, which many of them are fine-tuned machines and many of them aren't, they're made disposable, right? But let's talk about the fine-tuned machines, because that's more analogous to our human bodies. So if you put in low test gasoline, 85 octane, low test, 93 is high test, right? So if you put low test fuel in, how does it run? Well, many times the engine runs poorly. It knocks, it spits, it sputters, it pings. It just doesn't run well. But if you fill your tank again and 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 again with 93 octane, I can guarantee you that machine's going to run smooth like a sewing machine. And that's the design, because the fuel is high grade. That's how you want to be thinking. So if you want a machine that's running on high, or if you want a machine to run like a sewing machine, you want your body to run smooth as silk and have enough energy to make it all the way through the day, what do you have to do? You have to fuel it properly. You have to fuel it with top shelf material. What does that mean? We've talked about ad nauseum already, food, right? So everyone knows whole food, whole fresh produce, best by far. Organic, even better, okay? So what do you do when the elimination or the tailpipe piece isn't handled? We just talked about filling the tank. Well, the opposite end on a vehicle is the exhaust pipe. So the opposite end of our vehicle is our exhaust pipe. What do you do when you don't have your exhaust pipe open? Right? We all know what I'm talking about. We have plenty of poop chat around here. We're all comfortable with it by now, or should be getting there anyhow. So if you are not regular, what does that mean? Let's first back up and talk about regularity. Regularity is defined as you eat a meal, you should be moving or evacuating your bowels up to 1 hour afterward. Some people are like clockwork. They'll eat a meal and, oh my goodness, it's no time when they got the urge to purge, and off they go. And then some people, nature doesn't call for them for 3, 4, 5 days. I had a patient come in 1 month. I got real quiet, silent as a church mouse. I said, surely you're kidding me. No, once a month was good for her. She said, if I get 2 to 3 times a month, that's a good month. Okay, there's your ends of the spectrum. Many people, okay, they're moving their bowels after every meal, 3 times a day, many twice a day, most people once a day. But the thing is sometimes the consistency isn't what it should be either. Some people celebrate, think, oh, I'm moving my bowels today, but it's like rabbit pellets. That's not the consistency we need. So we can talk more about that later, but regularity should be equivalent to the number of times you eat per day because you're stimulating your GI tract, and that's what should happen. In, out, okay? We can talk about absorbability later. What can help you with that? Everyone should know this by now. I'm not going to give you a pop quiz, although I should, because the amount of times I've reiterated this, it should be drilled in your head by now. Hydration is number one. Electrolytes number two. Well, what does that mean? Well, we were told for years, Dr. DeRusse, we should avoid salt. That's true if you have poor kidney function, if you've got severe cardiovascular disease, if you've got congestive heart failure. That's true, okay? But for the average person who does not, has great kidney function, no congestive heart failure, what are your kidneys for? That's what your kidneys are for, okay? So eat the salt. It's fine. You're not going to blow up and have a heart attack and all that kind of stuff just from having salt on your food. That's what the kidneys are designed for. They regulate your electrolyte balance in the body. So don't panic about that. I mean, if a cardiologist knew how much salt I ate, he'd flip out probably, because that's their paradigm, that's their model, that's what they're taught. But physiologically speaking, the way the body functions is if your kidneys are healthy, it maintains that electrolyte and salt balance. My blood pressure is the lowest it's ever been. I don't take any medications. I manage it with salt. And many of you are scratching your heads right now thinking, well, that's not what I was taught for decades, and you're 100% right. So why do I have regularity? Several reasons. Ready? Let's rattle them off. Proper hydration. I drink water throughout the day. Pink Himalayan sea salt. I season my food with it because I sweat a lot. And I put out on my skin surface. I put on my skin surface the salt, and I take a shower and I don't replenish. I walk around depleted. So I replenish. There's number two. Number three, roughage. I grew up on a dairy farm. Our cows ate hay, grass, alfalfa, silage, all kinds of different types of roughage. They never struggled out in the field. They lift their tail and out it goes. That's how it went because they had an enormous amount of fiber in their diet that kept them cleaned out. Well, we don't. The line at Hardee's again, I pick on Hardee's all the time, bless their hearts. They're out to the street in the morning. Why? Biscuits and gravy, zero fiber. Coats the inside of your intestines, makes a nice ring around there. You know, when they did John Wayne's autopsy, that's what they found. They found his intestines, his colon was distended, and he had an enormous thick layer of white paste. And it was because he ate these big cat head biscuits and he ate gravy every morning. Can't do that. That's not a whole food. It's not by design. There's no fiber to it. So, well, you can do it, but you're going to pay the price for it, is my point. All right, let's take this all back to energy. So we hit them, right? Hydration, electrolyte balance, roughage. Those are the main elements, okay? And electrolyte balance, just for clarification, means proper mineral intake. Your mineral profile is up. That's your macros like magnesium, zinc, calcium. You want those to be high. Phosphorus, you want your minerals to be high. Sodium, potassium, chloride, you want all those to be in good balance. Then your muscle contraction will be right in the intestines and you'll have regularity. What support products? Some people are just really out in left field with this. They're just not having good bowel function at all. They don't have good elimination. They're struggling. Their energy by the midday is depleted because they've got a plug in their tailpipe. What can help with it to bridge that gap? Most people, they know all about Miralax. They all know about Citracel. They all know about Benefiber and things like that. And, you know, probably original Benefiber is the best choice of all if you're going commercial. I personally don't subscribe to that because there's no nutritional value in it. It's just psyllium husk. Sometimes the containers now contain a drug, and the body can become dependent upon that. It'll become dependent upon Miralax, Citracel, and some of the other, Metamucil, that's the other big one most people know about, Dulcolax. You don't want to become dependent on something like that. You want to use the by design methods, okay, that we mentioned. What can help in addition to that? This is my number one all-time favorite. Number one all-time favorite. I'm going to show it first and last. Unicity's LaFiber. Been taking this forever. We keep it on hand here at the office. It's a large container. This lasts you well over a month, but I do 1 level scoop, made in the United States. All of my products are made in the United States, by the way. And this is a great one to add to a smoothie. You can mix this with water. I don't prefer it that way, but it's a great option to bulk stool and get you cleaned out. You have to be a water drinker for this one, no doubt. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Next one, L-arginine. This is the peach lemonade flavor. This oxygenates all of your cells. It's 2 amino acids, and it's a great way to stimulate your bowel function biochemically. All right, it's not a fiber, it's 2 amino acids, but it does cause a relaxation of muscles, cause a relaxation of the colon so that it actually can loosen up some if you have constipation. It's great in combination. It's not a standalone product. Do not use this alone for constipation. It will not work for you. It's a great add-on if you're very, very constipated. Another great one. This is kind of like a cousin to this one here. This is in capsule form. This is basically you take a level scoop, okay? The capsule form, this is a standard process product, so you know it's going to be very good. This one is capsule. You can take up to 3, 4, 5 a day. This depends on what condition you're in. Many people have to take more to start, and then you can taper back off as you maintain a better regular cycle of bowel movements. The last one I'll show you is Unicity's Nature's Tea. This is a steeping product. It's got chamomile tea, and it's really good at relaxing the colon, stimulating bowel function. Works very well. Sometimes if you steep it too much, then it gets too good a result too fast. So we can help you through that. The instructions are on the side. All of these all natural, okay? There's no drug, pharmaceutical, artificial stimulant in them. Wonderful way to get the bowel moving again. But this one, I will tell you, I've been taking this one for close to 30 years. It's an old company. Twin Labs was the original company. But they broke off into their own to maintain just creating and processing health-related products. Good ones, too. But I love the Nature's Tea. I love the low fiber. Been selling them for almost 30 years. Patients love them. Don't get any pushback on them. And it's a wonderful way to get the extra fiber in your diet to push you up to 30 grams per day. Because that's where you should be at. If you're constipated, 30 grams per day is good. Some people need more. Depends on how long they've been struggling with constipation. But remember those keys. Replay this. If you didn't remember everything I said or have time to jot it down, just hit replay on this and listen to it again. It's a great way to get things moving when you should be. And the reason I dedicated a video to this is because we hear it all the time. The last one I show you, and I messed up here, I'm sorry. The last one I showed you is a company that is really focused on wellness of the gut and the intestines, and that is Southern Botanicals Intestinal Cleanse formulas. There's 3 of them. Intestinal Cleanse Formula 1 is the one that everyone should start with. Intestinal Cleanse 2 is more for removing toxins from the intestines or through the intestines. This is support for the intestines. And then this one is really good. It's a liquid form, actually. This is really good to give children who are struggling with constipation. Even babies, you can dilute this and give this to babies that are constipated. And that way it opens up dialogue with us for helping them get the proper nutrition. So if your babies are constipated, this is a wonderful product to use for that purpose. We keep these 2 on hand because these are regular sellers. This one I would order and keep it because it's liquid. It has to be ordered fresh. And it only takes a few days to get. You just have to pre-order that one. But let us know if we can be of service to you or provide any additional information to be a resource for you. We're glad to do that because we know how important this portion is to your overall health improvement regimen. Take care. Great to speak with you this morning. Share this with your friends if you love and care about them, especially the ones you know that are interested in natural means of health care. Please subscribe to this channel. It does help us. It helps our algorithm. It helps the workings behind the scenes here. And give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it if you like this information to give us a thumbs up. Have a great day. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.